All right, next up we have Catherine Brutch.
It's Catherine Bruck, and I'm running for Sandoval County Commission in District 1, and I'm so grateful to NIAP and Rio Rancho Regional Chamber for inviting us here, and thank you all for coming out today. I am running for this office because I think it is time that we have a commission that is respectful to their constituents and to all of each other on the dais. I think it is now time that we prioritize integrity, honesty, and transparency at all levels of government, and I think now is the time to do that. I moved to Sandoval County in 2011 with my husband. We were happy to come here. We made it our home and intend to stay here for the rest of our lives. We love it, and I want to do my very best to take care of it. My background is in a variety of jobs in the restaurant and retail industry. I have 30 years of experience in everything from operations to training in HR. I've also been an entrepreneur and am currently the owner of a small family business that is out of state, so I would not be required to recuse myself on any issues locally. I love having that business with my mom, and we do a great job just taking care of our little rental properties. And that being said, what I think we need to do is get out and vote. November 6th will be here before you know it, and I ask for your support. I have been an active member in my community with a variety of volunteer jobs. I was the president of Jardineros de Placitas for 3 years, and in that role, it's a community service benevolence organization where much of the money goes back into other nonprofits in our community. I've also been on the board of my HOA and I'm an active member of our community library and other volunteer organizations. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you. Also from District 1, James Holden Rhodes.
Good evening. I had the opportunity and the privilege of teaching the Constitution at the college level, and I became very impressed with the concept of we the people. That has been my guiding force as the county commissioner. My background, I am a leader. I'm a United States Marine Corps officer. I've worked in DOD. I've worked in 4 universities, taught in 4 universities here in the state. When I took this job, it became readily apparent that whoever had it before didn't do a darn thing. District 1 was totally forgotten. So looking forward, and you will keep me in office, looking forward, we want to get District 1 into the county funding cycle. Our greatest priority, and I urge you, if you cannot make the county commission meeting tomorrow evening, to tune in on video, is the aquifer source water protection oil and gas ordinance. I have been a prime mover on that, and I believe that we're going to see an ordinance that protects our water. Lastly, we must get District 1 into the county funding cycle. I urge you to vote for the bond issues, particularly the last one, which I was responsible for putting together, so that we can bring the forgotten side of the mountain, La Madera, Placitas, Alcodones, Pina Blanca, points north, up to a reasonable safety standard. Semper Fi, thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up we have Christine Humphrey.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much for sticking in here with us. My name is Christy Humphrey, and I'm running to be your next Sandoval County Assessor. So why me? Why should you vote for me? Experience. Experience matters extremely in this position. I am the current Chief Deputy Assessor, and I have held that position for almost 8 years. In that time, I oversaw the first reappraisal in Sandoval County's history. It had not been done, and it had been neglected for decades. And as a result, we have the most accurate assessments in Sandoval County's history. I am a licensed New Mexico real estate broker, and I have been for over 26 years. I am also a New Mexico certified appraiser. I have a bachelor's degree in accounting from UNM. I am the current vice chair of the assessor's affiliate for the entire state of New Mexico. One of my main priorities in that position is I am the chair of the legislative committee. I have worked with several of the members up here, up in Santa Fe, in that position, and I have fought every year for our taxpayers. I have fought against really bad legislation that would have raised taxes on all of our citizens, and I fought for good legislation for our 100% disabled veterans, for our seniors, for common sense legislation. I'm also an instructor of both the NMSU EDGE courses, where I teach assessor staff throughout the state. And then just recently, I'm really excited, I became an IAAO instructor. That is the International Assessing Officers. And these are classes that all the appraisal staff has to take in order to get certified in this state. I will be one of 4 instructors in the entire state of New Mexico teaching these courses. And finally, I'm a wife. I've been married to the love of my life, Ron Humphrey, for over 26 years. I'm a native New Mexican, born and raised, love this community, and I am a mother of 3 boys. This has taught me perseverance, and it's taught me multitasking. So I humbly ask for your support come November 6th, and I want to continue to serve you. My name's Christy Humphrey, Sandoval County Assessor.
Thank you, Christy. And finally, Linda Gallegos.
Hello, thank you everybody for being here. I have to tell you, I've been at job interviews before, but never with so many bosses before, and that's what each of you guys are. Thank you for being out here, and thank you for coming, because I'm asking each of you for a job. I've also never been in an interview under spotlights. It's a lot more difficult. But as in an interview, I want to let you know a little bit about myself. My name is Linda Gallegos, and I'm asking for your vote for Sandoval County Assessor. I've lived in this community, in Rio Rancho specifically, within this county, for over 40 years. My mom is in the same house off of Sarah Road for over 40 years. It's easy to find because it's got the largest Linda Gallegos for County Assessor sign on all of Sarah. You can't miss it. And I do appreciate my family's support because they've been very supportive through this whole race. Thank you very much. I'm a wife to Joey. I appreciate his support. We've got 3 children, which we have raised in Rio Rancho. I plan on retiring here. I'm certainly committed to it. Besides my commitment to it, we talk about experience. I've got over 30 years managing investment and banking and title experience. And with that, I have managed over 80 employees with 4 locations. You talk about experience. I want to speak to that because here I had something in mind to say, but really what I want to tell you is being able to manage and bring a team together, because also one of my credits that I like to say is that I've been coaching. My sister and I started coaching when we were in college. A friend of ours asked us to coach their child's soccer team, which we did and loved it. I've been coaching for over 30 years also. I've also coached a men's league, and why I say that is because it's about bringing a team together. It's about bringing the best of each of the teammates together. It doesn't matter if I work in the office and I'm the best assessor that you've ever had, or the best appraiser that you've ever had. It doesn't matter if I work 50, 80, 100 hours a week. It's about bringing all of the employees that work in the assessor's office and all of the experience that they have within that office and bringing all of their qualities and bringing out the best of each of them. That is my skill set. That is what I do. I lead people, I work with them, next to them, and I will absolutely be committed to being your Sandoval County Assessor. My name is Linda Gallegos. I'm asking for your vote. And then after you get me elected, I want you to come visit me at the assessor's office, and you will find me there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and I'll always have chocolate on my desk, so please stop by.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, let's get back to the House of Representatives candidates. So this first question will go to Jane, and the question is as we know in New Mexico, continually every year we talk about tax reform. Do you believe that there is a need for comprehensive tax reform in New Mexico? Also, you have 1 minute to answer that whole question.
Yes, we do. We need to do a complete overhaul on our tax system. And Jason came before me. I was the chair of the Business and Industry Committee. And he came before me, and I think it was 600 pages that got out of our committee to look at New Mexico's tax structure. We're going to have to reform it. We're going to have to change the way New Mexico does business. Our biggest issue in having companies come in is they look at our tax system and think, oh my God, we have to go through all of this. Under this administration, we've changed probably about 42, 43 areas in the tax system. But we've got a very, very long ways to go. And I'm not a tax person, but I work very well with Jason, who is. And we look at something that we can change each year. I'm known as the tax credit person. And you may not know it, but we do have a lot of tax credits on the books that are going to have to be eliminated. And so we need to move into that direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Same question goes to Benton.
Thank you. I believe we should examine the gross receipts tax and make realistic changes as to what goods and services are compared, which are attempted and why, exempted and why. Just cutting tax rates is not reform. All tax programs should be examined and on an ongoing basis to determine how they work, how they are affecting business development and personal finances. We should also review the state's investment policy to determine if we are maximizing our return and if we are investing in New Mexico itself. My overall goal is to work to make New Mexico's tax system fair and reliable. We cannot continue this cycle of high revenues one year and low revenues the next. That is not being fiscally responsible.
Thank you. Next on the same question on tax reform will be Billy Ann first.
So I'll admit to you, I'm not a tax expert. I am a teacher. I am a little bit of a helper. My husband is a general contractor. He owns a small business here in Rio Rancho. And we have very direct experience with it, with what it's like being on the receiving end of those tax laws. And yes, we need to reform tax laws in New Mexico, but I very firmly believe that we need to do it so that it's not at the expense of small businesses and families. We, here in Rio Rancho, we have a lot of middle-class families, and I really want to make sure that we're able to maintain the way of life that we've become used to in Rio Rancho. We have a really great community here, and I want to see us sustain that through taxes and other ways. Our tax policy is complicated. Yes, that needs to be reformed. It needs to be simplified. But again, I really want to emphasize to you, my biggest push really is to support families. That's what we are here in Rio Rancho. We're families. That's what we do here. We support our families. We all want to have a roof over our heads. We want to be able to support our children. We want good education. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that our tax system supports all of that. And we can't do that until we get the revenues here to support all of that. And that's just not what we're doing right now. So yes, it needs to be reformed, but let's do it not at the expense of small business and families.
Okay, thank you.